Here's a quick snippet from my podcast, Maximize Your Influence. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe at MaximizeYourInfluence.com. Remember what I said earlier, fear breeds doubt, doubt destroys confidence. You want to have true confidence, not the fake confidence. Not the second part here that's huge is that there's a fine line between being confident and being arrogant or cocky. Now, as I interview people that are persuading each other, one of the questions I ask, were they confident? And the persuader says, yeah, I was confident. But when you ask the persuadee or the prospect, yeah, no, they seemed arrogant and condescending and cocky. And that destroys trust. So here we've got this thing, confidence. It really enhances trust. But if you cross the line to arrogance, it destroys confidence. So what is the difference between confidence and arrogance? I mean, that's an interesting one I ask at seminars all the time. And it seems to come down to, as people define it, that confidence is about inner peace, that you could serve others, that you can hear other people's opinions, that you're good, that you don't need to vomit your expertise all over other people, versus arrogant is your idea is the only idea, that it's all about you and nobody else, and I'll accept that. In fact, some other things that come up when I have people define arrogance are the following. They acted like they owned the place, treated me like a child, didn't listen to what I wanted, blamed other people, didn't own up to their mistakes, never answered my questions, always had to be right. Now, some of those are perceptions. Some of those you're like, well, I would never treat someone like a child. Well, you know, the way you ask questions, the way you respond to questions, the way you treat somebody, you could be. I'm sure you're not doing it on purpose, but it's very possible. So let's look at those again. Acted like they owned the place. You were the most important person. Nobody else mattered. That could have been a defense mechanism. Maybe you don't mean to. Maybe you're like me. You suffer from RBF. Look it up if you don't know what it is. To where you just look like you don't want to talk to people sometimes. Didn't listen. You go in, tell them what they need to do. Even though you might be right, you still have to listen. We've talked about on previous shows blaming other people and how that hurts trust. When you didn't own up to your mistake or being late or saying something wrong, pointing fingers, the blame game really hurts confidence, really hurts trust. And that last one I mentioned always has to be right. And, of course, you've heard me say on the show before, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. I mean, you could win the argument. It's a lot of fun. You could prove someone they're wrong. That could be a lot of fun, but you've crossed the line. So if you really want to avoid arrogance, you have to be open to feedback and to criticism. You know, take it with a grain of salt. I know there's always someone in my audience that has to point out, oh, there's this in your book, or there's a spelling mistake here, or you said this, you should have said this. There's always people that want to give feedback and criticism, and I'll just say thank you. Then I'll take it with a grain of salt. Maybe it's something I change, maybe it's something I don't, but I have to be open to listen. Some personalities need to find something wrong with something. And I've seen a lot of presenters put things that are wrong on purpose so people can find them because they like to find those things. Take that one with a grain of salt. Being honest about your strengths and weaknesses of your product and competing products, they've done their research, they know. We've also noticed that people that ask more questions demonstrate care and concern more than others. In fact, the study shows that great persuaders ask 3 times more questions. You become a consultant instead of a salesperson. Thanks for listening. To listen to the rest of the podcast or subscribe, it's MaximizeYourInfluence.com.